You're listening to the Canadian Women of the Outdoors podcast, the first podcast by Canadian women for Canadian women about Canadian women. Brought to you by Revolution Armory. Join the revolution. And True North Baits, superiority quality fishing tackle. See what the fuss is about. For 10% off all plastics, use code CWO10. Enjoy the episode.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Women of the Outdoors. Oh, did I lose? You there? Oh, you're there. Yep. Sorry, our connection just went wonky there for a second. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Women of the Outdoors. I'm very excited about this guest, but before we get into that, big shout out to our sponsors, Revolution Armory and True North Baits. With True North Baits, use code CWO10 for 10% off all their plastics. With fall football season happening, all the big smallmouth, largemouth, make sure you get into their plastics. And then with ice season coming up, you definitely want to start stocking up. Our next guest I'm really excited about. I've been following this company for a bit, and then I actually met her at the Sportsman Show and was like, I need to have you on. I definitely need to have you on this podcast because your brand and plan and just idea is brilliant, but with summer and kids, and it took a bit, but now we're finally doing it. Right? Yeah. Now we're finally doing it. I'm super excited. So I would like to introduce our next guest, Brittany Dobson, who is the owner and founder of Tiny Goose Apparel. And I know probably most of our listeners, as I know most of them have kids, know this amazing brand and saw them at the Sportsman Show. Was that your first Sportsman Show?
No, right before that we did Belleville.
Oh,
but that was our first, like the first time at Toronto.
And you guys were busy.
Yeah, we were.
Like, good for you. Now, before we get into all of that, let's talk about you, Brittany. Where did you grow up? Where did your love of the outdoors start? Because obviously you have to have a little bit of love for this kind of stuff to be able to get into the business of it, right?
Yeah. I grew up in Pontypool, which is
where the hell is that?
I don't know, have you ever heard of Peterborough?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So it's probably like 15 minutes west of Peterborough.
Oh, okay. I used to live in Peterborough, and I've never heard of Pontypool in my life. Yes.
That's so funny. It is a small town. It's getting a little bit bigger now, but I currently live in Millbrook, which is only 10 minutes from Pontypool, so I didn't go too far.
I do know Millbrook.
Okay, there you go. Millbrook's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, grew up in Pontypool, and then I always grew up around hunting. My dad was big into it, mainly deer hunting. He also went moose hunting, but at my parents' house, there would always be a ton of my dad's buddies coming over, and it was always a big thing. My mom would make food for everybody, and they'd always go out in groups, and he was always big into fishing too, so I always grew up around fishing as well. I'm one of three girls, and it's funny because I was the only one that didn't get my hunting license when we were younger because I wasn't as into it. My dad would take us out. I just didn't have the attention span for deer hunting. I got bored easily, and my sisters were good with it. So it's funny that out of the three of us, I'm the one that came up with like a outdoors company. But yeah, I grew up around it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was gonna say I totally get the deer hunting thing. I have ADHD, right? It's very hard for like the waterfowl I can do because it's constantly moving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like deer, I totally get the not being able to sit still and like it wasn't that.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I tried it a couple times and it was just like you had to be dead silent and just sit there, and I would get bored way too easily, and I was like, this isn't for me. And then my dad never was into the waterfowl side of it, so I only really experienced the deer hunting, so I just never really got into it until until I met my husband later. He's the opposite. He's heavy into waterfowl hunting, doesn't really care to deer hunt. Same with he doesn't really care much to moose hunt either. Just funny seeing one end of it to the other, and then the difference of it. So
well, it's definitely so with waterfowl, it's definitely more of a social thing. You can like, and again, waterfowl is probably getting to your business, which we're not going to totally, it's easy to take the kids waterfowl hunting.
Yes.
Like
100%.
super, it is probably easiest, like that, squirrel, rabbit, like those are like the 3 hunts that you want to take the kids to. So when you and Matt, like how long did you guys been together? Like obviously if that's where the waterfowl and interest started, it's been a while.
But probably about 14 years we've been together now.
That's awesome.
It was more so when like when we started having kids that I started to like have more interest towards it. Because at the time it was always just something he went and did with his friends, never really thought anything of it. And then once we had kids and I started thinking about exactly what you said, like how it is an easier type of hunting to take them to, because they don't need to be dead silent, because that's never going to happen with young kids.
No, not at all.
No. So yeah, he was always into like turkey and bird hunting, and it's way easier to have an attention span for that, because like you said, you're with a group of friends, you can talk, and especially like more of the waterfowl hunting, you can talk and hang out with everybody, and you can hear them coming in, and then that's when you know you kind of need to like focus and get a little quieter.
Well, that's awesome. So then your business, Tiny Goose Apparel, which brilliant idea. Let's get a bit of a intro on that. So what is Tiny Goose Apparel? What products do you have? Where did that all come from? This is going to be a long question, and there'll probably be more questions through it. So let's things first. Where did Tiny Goose Apparel come from? Like, what made you decide to start this business?
So at the time, my oldest was around 3 years old, and he started to love doing everything that we were doing, wanted to come with us to do everything. And we started looking into trying to find like hunting gear for him. I started looking online, couldn't really find anything. I started reaching out to friends that were also into hunting. Same thing. They said they haven't been able to find anything. And I was like, how is it so hard to find something for kids? So then it's crazy. So I started,
like, you go to Bass Pro, it's not actually like, it's like camo colored, but it's not actually hunting gear. It's just like, like t-shirts. Like it's not something you can actually hunt in. It's just
it's more like lifestyle wear.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
And a lot of it too was like youth sizing and up, and then it was almost like just the odd stuff they had. So I just was talking to a friend, and we were saying like someone needs to come up with this, and then I was like, I wonder how hard it would be to actually get this going. So I started doing a ton of researching. This was like, all of this is all over a year span. So
I was going to say, when did it start?
It probably started. Okay, we're in 2024.
And then there was COVID.
Yeah.
COVID was like forgettable years.
Yeah. I guess it would be near the end of summer 2022. Because we launched in August 2023.
Okay, so you've been at it just over a year then.
Yeah, it was when I was on mat leave with my second son. And I kind of had more of the time to kind of look into this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in 2022 is when I started doing a bunch of researching online, started looking into different manufacturers and like the process. There's so much to it. It was crazy. I didn't realize how much I was going to be getting into until I got into it, but there's so much to it. And I had to teach myself everything because I have no background in like business or fashion or anything. So it was a lot of learning.
Yeah, I bet.
And then a year later, we were ready to launch it. And now Tiny Goose has been running for a year, and we're trying to get the name out and spread it. And it's crazy how fast time goes.
Well, and I mean, you definitely have been spreading the word. Like, again, I like before I even met you at the Sportsman Show.
Yeah.
I had seen your stuff on socials. People were sharing it. People were wearing it. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. Like, and again, this is brilliant. I have 3 kids myself. None of them fit into, again, like the Bass Pro camo. Like, it's not actual hunting attire. It's not warm. It's not nice stuff. It's just like something you can wear to the trailer or whatever. Like
Yeah,
that's just a
like
camo
every day.
pattern.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible concept, and especially because you are Canadian too, right?
Yep.
And that is a huge, like, you're a Canadian brand, and people are going to love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So, and you have your own camo.
Yes, we designed our own camo. Yeah.
So what is that camo called, and how, like, just because I've never done it before, how does one design their own camo? Like, that's a pretty, like, because camo, I just always thought it was like you take pictures off the internet, but again, I don't know because I've never done it. So like, how did you get to designing your own camo?
So we named it, well, the first camo that we did now, it's called BW Fields. And we chose the name by picking the first letter of each of our sons' names. Amazing. So our oldest is Brody. Our second son is Wyatt. So BW for Brody and Wyatt. So we did BW Fields. And then for the camo, I did look into like the process of trying to use like the mainstream camo that's out there. But then I was also thinking like it'd be nice to do something different. Yeah. Same idea. How hard would it be to actually do it ourselves? And then I have a cousin, very, very talented. I talked with her. She's very artistic. She's a tattoo artist. She does designs all the time. So I talked with her and she was on board. She loved the idea. So I sat down with her, told her all the ideas, the different elements we wanted to include, the type of hunting the camo was going to be used for. And then we just kind of put it all together. We tweaked it a bunch of times. We even added little ghost logos to kind of make it our own, having our logo kind of hidden into the camo too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, she helped me out a lot with making it, and I love it. We've had so many compliments on it, and I love how it came out.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it looks sharp as hell. Like,
yeah.
And now, did you have to trademark that? Obviously, like, I'm assuming there would have had to have been some special, like, what kind of process is that like? Because you have to go through the government for that, right?
Yeah. There's you do it online. I ended up doing a copyright on it. I need to double check about doing a trademark on it as well. But yeah, you just fill out a bunch of stuff online and process it, and then you get something in the mail that just says that you've copyright it, and then it actually wasn't that hard to do. I do need to look into the trademarking part.
So now nobody can take that style, like, of camo, like whatever the pattern is. Nobody can take that, right?
Yeah, and even if you didn't trademark or copyright it, as long as you can prove that you were the original designer of it, like if you found that someone did try and take it, as long as you can prove that you were the original creator of it, then even without having like any legal thing to it, then they're not like allowed to take it.
Well, and that would probably be based off like your website, because you have a website. I believe.
Yeah.
You have your website, you have your social medias and stuff like that.
So. Yeah, and we have our logo hidden in our camo too. So our logo's in it too. Had to add that extra security.
It's such a brilliant, honestly, it is such a brilliant design. Like, people don't realize, like, people take your kids hunting, but you need the actual clothing to do it because kids get cold so fast.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've seen kids get cold so fast, and then like they want to come hunting, but they last all of 15 minutes because then they're like, it's so cold.
Yeah, like, they get over it pretty quick. Yeah.
When I walked up to your booth, and I had to wait to talk to you because you were so busy, and I was like, yes. I was like, yes, that is amazing right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely unreal. And you guys are coming back to the Sportsman Show again next year, right?
Yeah.
Are you back in the Refuge again?
Yeah, we'll be in the Refuge again. Yep.
Well, that's unreal. Do you guys have any other shows that you're doing coming forward, like going forward? Like, I don't know if there's craft trade shows or whatever in that area that you kind of pop out to.
We were supposed to do the one in Barrie at the end of October, but I think it just recently got rescheduled to March of next year now. So yeah, we have the Toronto Sportsman Show, and then we got into the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have to apply to get into that.
Wow, girl.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is a huge show.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot.
Holy
It's 9
crap.
days.
Now, do you know if there's anybody in like the US that has the type of product that you do? Like, 'cause
Not that I've really seen online, but I
yeah,
guess it just kind of, I don't really know of any names yet. Like, and not that
yeah.
anything stuck out.
That is when's that one?
February 1st to 9th, so it's 9 days long.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is and you're gonna be down there for 9 days?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna probably have some family try and come help. And
Yeah, because I think your dad was there at the
Yeah.
Sportsman show because he was chatting
Yeah.
with me. He's like, "This is my daughter's business."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, Dad,
He's a-
you're
yeah,
amazing!"
yeah, big
Like,
proud dad. Yeah.
he was doing the proud dad thing. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, my heart! Like, I just want to give you a hug, buddy. Like, you're
Oh
so
yeah,
cute."
he
It's
loves
so
it.
cute.
It's like any show we do, he's like, let me know, I'll be there to help you. And he's already
Well, and
said for the Pennsylvania one, he's like, I'm coming with you. Yeah, so excited.
that's amazing though that you have
Yeah.
that help because
Yeah.
again, like when I seen how busy you guys were, and it was just the two of yous, like it's
Yeah.
and it like we said, it's such a niche market. Like
Yes.
you are
Yeah.
now where do you want to see this go? Are you eventually going to do different types of camo, like get into like the turkey, deer, or are
Yep.
you gonna try and stick strictly to waterfowl?
We do plan eventually to do that kind of camo as well. And then I would like to eventually do some kind of like alternative camo, like have another option too.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a couple that we would like to eventually put together in the future if we get to that point, and it would be nice to add more options.
Oh
And
yeah.
for like where we want to go, I just want to be able to grow to the point that I can add more products. I have a whole list of things that I would love to add that are just like such great, cute ideas. And I just want to grow to the point that pretty much every year I can add something new or add a couple new things.
Yeah.
Like I get so much feedback from people at these shows, and they're mentioning like waders for kids. It's impossible to find waders.
Well, yes.
Even orange vests for young kids, like just like things like that you wouldn't think would be so hard to find. Like I have such a big list of things I want to add. There's so many things. I'm excited for it, and I just want to keep adding more things.
So what do you have on your lineup right now?
Right now we have jackets, bib pants, hoodies, beanies, fall caps, and earmuffs.
Those earmuffs are brilliant for children.
Yes.
It is so hard to
Yeah.
find earmuffs for kids.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like those are brilliant. And so you said you want to add waders. Is there other stuff, like do you want to add like full suits? Like what kind of stuff are you looking at adding other than the waders?
T-shirts, long sleeves, waders, yeah, like a full suit, like you said.
I was just hunting in a t-shirt on the weekend because it was so freaking hot out.
Yeah, exactly. You never know with the crazy weather we've had lately. Like it's middle of September, and it's, what was it? It was like 28 the past, like on the weekend. And
oh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. So, yeah, like easy stuff for kids too, like t-shirts and long sleeves, just so when it's warmer out, they can wear something a little lighter.
Yeah.
Because right now our gear is more colder, like spring and fall, like when it's cooler out. So it'd be nice to have lighter wear.
And the orange idea is brilliant because I know like we take our kids like rabbit and squirrel hunting, and like that's when you kind of want to promote like wearing your orange vest, your orange
keep
hat.
Them safe. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where again, it's like, it's not really, you can't find it. Like our kids are using our extra vests, which are huge on them. It's still orange, but it doesn't fit nicely, and it's like
it's not hanging off of them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think again, like with waterfowl, squirrel, rabbit, those are the types of hunts that you want to do with kids, like especially at a younger age. Like our 5-year-old, which we can't. There's no hunting clothing for that until we stumbled upon like your brand.
Yep.
And again, like there is no hunting clothing for like, what sizes do you have exactly? You go from, I'm trying to remember what you go from. You go from like really tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny goose.
The jackets and bib pants go down to 2T. The hoodies we have is down as like 12 months. And then up to youth large.
Youth large. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did that just expand or was that at the Sportsman show as well?
No, we just expanded to the youth sizing. Yeah.
I was going to say, because I don't recall that being at the Sportsman show. But again, that's just, my eldest is probably in a youth large now. So,
yeah.
And again, she's someone that she wants to go hunting so badly.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to find clothes for her. Like she wanted to come turkey hunting with me. I'm like, okay, I guess we're just going to have to put you all in black. And you're going to be in a blind with me because there's nothing out there for you.
Yeah.
So that's honestly, it's awesome. Like your clothing is just so cool.
Thanks.
No, thank you for providing us. Do you eventually want to get this into stores? Like, are you thinking big box or retailers going forward, or are you going eventually, or are you just sticking with online stuff?
We are mainly online right now. We do have sales reps all over Canada right now working on getting us into some retailers. We do have some stores. Yeah, we have some stores interested. We're just waiting to hear back from them because they're starting to work on getting their orders in for the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're working on that, but we're mainly like directly online sales right now. So getting into retailers would be a bonus.
Well, yeah, that would like. Are you looking at small stores, or are you looking like the big sales, Canadian Tire, stuff like that?
It would definitely be small stores right now, just because we're not really at the scale to really get into the big stores. I think they probably would want us to be around longer and maybe have a bigger variety of products and stuff too.
Okay.
But yeah, we're just starting with like the smaller retail stores all over Canada right now.
That's awesome. And I just had a question in my head and now I lost it. Where, so again, with this product, where do you get it made from? Like do you do it all in Canada, or do you send designs out? Do you have a hand in what like bib placement, like where the design's going to go? Like I see a little bit of brown in the one in the corner there. Like, do you have design placement with whatever manufacturer you go with? And are they in Canada?
It's not manufactured in Canada. We tried. It was extremely expensive. It's crazy how to get anything made in Canada is so expensive. So it is being manufactured overseas, but we do have a hand in the placement of everything. Sending them our camo. They send samples back. Like you go back and forth quite a bit. Tell them exactly what you want, where you want things. They'll send a sample. What's nice is because we have kids of our own, there are little models. So when we did get samples coming in, we tried them on our kids, go over what we like, what we don't like, the fit of them, and then get them to correct things based off that. And then it helps having lots of friends that have kids as well, that we can try it on them too. Because every kid has different heights and sizes and stuff. So it's nice to kind of make sure it's kind of like a good generic size. Because we were trying to keep it gender neutral. So it fits boys and girls. So that was a tough thing too. Trying to make sure that the sizes can fit both.
Well, and especially at those ages too. Like some of the girls are going through puberty and like the hips and stuff like that. Like that, you are taking on quite a task.
It is a lot. And there's you don't realize how much there is to it until you actually are doing it. And then it's just like, oh my gosh, things that you didn't think that you'd have to think of until you have to make that decision at the time. It's a lot, especially working full time and having young kids and then trying to do this on the side.
You work full time on top of this?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I did not know that. What do you do for work then?
I'm a restorative dental hygienist.
Oh my. And then you do this on the side.
I do this on the side.
But you are making like legit a career out of this because it's so popular.
Yeah, that's the goal. It'd be nice to grow this to the point that I can kind of do my regular job part-time and focus on this more.
That good for you, girl. Good for you.
I've been
plus you're a mama of two.
Yes.
Like
young kids too.
Yeah. Like, so how old are your boys again?
My oldest will be 5 soon, and then my youngest turned 2 in May.
That picture is the most epic picture.
Yeah.
Like, was he hunting like with his dad at that point, and he just grabbed the shotgun?
Yeah, he's like full into it. He gets upset if he can't go, like if he has to go to school and he can't be involved, he gets upset. Oh, he's like that with fishing too now. Like, my husband does bass tournaments too, so if anytime he finds out that his dad left to go he wakes up and my husband's already gone, he gets all upset saying he wanted to go with him, and he's at that age now. He's just all about it. It's cute.
But that's amazing. Give your kids the tackle box, not the Xbox.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, put them outside, not inside on the tablet.
Yeah.
So digressing back, what's the turnaround time for like when you're sending it overseas and stuff like that? Is it like an easy turnaround time, or are you waiting like a long time for that?
It's usually, I think, about 45 days.
That's not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And 45 days from when the time they make it, and then send it, and then it could be longer.
And that's after you've been back and forth deciding on your design and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's from the time that they actually make it.
So how long would a process be then when you send the initial design and then go back and forth? Is that usually a little bit longer then, or like do they kind of get back to you pretty quick?
They're usually pretty good at getting back to me pretty quick. It helps now that we've kind of had our sizing narrowed down. That took us a bit too, because we had to figure out kid sizing. We literally had to send them a size chart of the exact measurements we needed, everything for every single size, which that was a learning curve too. That took a long time to figure out. So now that we have that hammered out and that's good, and we have our sizing figured out, it's made it so much easier to add new things. Like if we do down the road want to add like t-shirts and long sleeves, we'll be like, okay, this is what we want. This is like, put our camo on it. Here's the size chart, because we already have that dialed in. It's ready to go. It's a much faster process now that we've been doing it for a bit now and kind of got all the kinks out. Mm-hmm. Getting easier.
So then how did you figure out sizing? Did you just have a bunch of kids and you just size them up, or?
Well, it helps. I have a bunch of our kids' clothes. So they're snow pants from the past few years, because I have the 2 kids now. So I would lay out like a few of the snow pants and like literally just measure them out, like the inseam and the height and all that. And for the U sizing, I had to go to like Sport Check and look at the U sizing. I'm like measuring them and like checking them out and seeing the difference between like the sizing we already had and what they have, just to figure it out. And bunch of researching.
You have honestly put so much thought and effort into this business. There's no way that this is not going to be huge.
Yeah, that would be nice if it really.
There's no way it can't be. Like, you guys have such a unique idea. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Again, like, you see the Bass Pro lifestyle brands, but never any kids stuff. And a lot of our kids, like, if you grow up in a hunting or fishing family, you want to go out with your parents or whatever on like, and it sucks to like bundle them up in like a bright pink snowsuit. Like and it's like, well, that may make the geese flare if they see you. So like, it is such a unique brand and idea, and I'm so here for it, having 3 kids myself. Like, it's just, I was so happy to see how busy you were at the Sportsman Show. Like, so incredibly happy. Can't wait to see you guys again there next year. And like the fact that you're going to Pennsylvania now, oh my god.
Add that on top of it too.
Add that on top of everything. And I'm assuming hubby works as well too. Like, this is all just side business. Like,
Yeah.
we're super happy about it. Like, amazing. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are doing awesome things. Now, do you have people buy from all over Canada, or are you kind of just Ontario right now?
No, all over Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nova Scotia. We've had like as west as BC,
oh, wow.
Northern Ontario, like way up north. Even in the US, like we're getting into the US too.
You've had people buy from the US already, eh?
Yeah.
That's...
We did I think within the first 6 months we had quite a few orders in the US.
Really?
And a lot of them said the same thing that everyone here said, which was they also noticed it was so hard to find kids camo gear in the US, which I thought it wouldn't be there. But they said the same thing, that they have such a hard time. I actually went down to the Delta Waterfowl Duck Expo in Louisiana this year.
Oh, you did this year, eh?
Yeah, I went down just to check it out and see how it was.
That's
and
awesome.
I talked with them about Tiny Goose, and quite a few people said the same thing. They're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, someone needs to finally start making kid stuff. And it's crazy how it's the same down there in the US. It's such a shortage for kids camo gear, like actual hunting gear.
So 2 questions. Are you planning on going to the Duck Expo next year?
Yeah, I'd like to.
As Tiny Goose, though? Like, are you thinking about going as like the Tiny Goose? Because it's in Oklahoma next year, right?
Yeah, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, so
I went this year just to check it out and see if we think it would be worth it. Just in the sense, with us having kids, working full time, we kind of have to like pick and choose what shows we want to do, because we have to rely on our parents to help us out to watch the kids. It's not as easy for us to go do the shows. So I went down with my dad and checked it out. It's actually like, I was surprised by how big it was for being just like more waterfowl based.
Yeah.
I've only really checked out like the full outdoor shows where it's like all outdoor stuff included. So I was impressed by how big it was for being just waterfowl. So it's definitely something we've been looking into. I've been emailing back and forth with them about trying to look into getting a booth down there.
Well, that's awesome.
Oklahoma City, yeah.
And I mean, if your kids come down too, they're just models.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Our oldest, I think, would.
Bring the kid. Oh, well, he is. That picture again is just, that is probably the most epic post I'm going to ever make in my entire life. And it's not even mine. It's not even my picture. So second question, talking about state stuff, is it hard for shipping to the States? Because like there's so how do you guys do the dollar exchange and stuff like that? Like, is there an option on the website for the exchange, or like how do you guys work that? Because that must be a little bit pain in the ass.
It's actually not that bad. On our website, when it detects that they're looking from the US, a little window would pop up for them to switch to American, and then it automatically switches to US dollars, and then it converts it for them.
Okay.
So it makes it super easy for them. We haven't had any issues shipping out there either, which has been good.
I was going to say, because sometimes there is issues shipping across border and stuff like that, but
it's actually surprisingly cheaper to ship to the US than it is within Canada.
That doesn't actually surprise me in the slightest that it's cheaper. I just wasn't sure, it didn't surprise me that it's cheaper. I just wasn't sure about how much of a pain in the ass it would be.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you have people from all over the States already, and you're just over a year officially in?
Yeah, just over a year. Yeah.
Damn, girl. Like, good for you. Eventually, yes, this will be your full-time career. I have good feelings about it.
I hope so. I've never been so passionate about something. So that's why I'm like so all in on it with everything I've been doing and all the attention to detail to everything. 'Cause it's just, I'm so passionate about it, and I hope it gets to the point that I can kind of slow down on my regular job and focus more on this, because I love it so much.
And again, like, you could eventually probably open up your own just like store, like Tiny Goose Apparel store in your area. Because like if you're in Peterborough, Kawarthas, like there's a lot of waterfowl hunters out there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
You could probably just open like just a store where like that's where it all is, and then you ship out directly from there. Like, it is an incredible like you have filled a spot that I don't think anybody realized they actually needed until you came on board.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we're just layering up our kids and God knows what.
Yeah.
And it's not, and then again, the earmuffs thing, which is, those are the cutest things ever. Like, it's you, congratulations to you for coming up with that and being like the only one. I'm pretty sure you're the only one in Canada that's come up with that right now.
So far that I know of, I think we're the only ones.
Like,
and what's nice too is seeing how excited kids get when they get the camo, because we have a lot of parents sending us pictures, and then kids love having stuff their parents have. So being involved in hunting, they're excited to have their own jacket or their own bib pants, and it's an actual camo that they can wear like everyone else and be included. And
that's
so excited.
That's a huge thing with kids too. They just want to be included.
Yeah.
They're just like, yes, I'm part of the crowd now. I'm part of the fun. I'm going hunting. Like, go me. Like, that's the total vibe I get from the pictures I've seen of your son, like doing, like getting involved. He's only 5 too. So, and the fact that he's, again, the smile on his face in like every picture.
Yeah.
It's just
so excited to be involved.
Exactly. Are you going to be going out west for any shows? Because I know waterfowl is huge out west. Like, are you looking into?
I haven't looked into it yet. Because I think BC has a big one. I think
so. It's either BC or Alberta, one of the two.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that yet because we've been trying to do the ones that we can drive to.
Yeah.
Whereas like going west, you'd have to fly, but then we could probably ship stuff down. There's a lot to it. We'd have to figure out how to make that work. It'd be easy for us to fly down, but then it's to bring the booth set up.
Yeah.
Plus some inventory. Yeah, it'd be a little bit harder to.
Now, does your work know, like your actual full-time job? Do they know what you're doing? And like, are they're cool? Like, are they supportive of it? And they're like, this is awesome type thing?
Yeah, like, they are. Because they know right now it's just like something I'm doing on the side. But yeah, a lot of them follow it and they think it's super cute, and they'll make comments about stuff that I posted and some of the cute like reels or photos that we have posted. And I actually have had, so I work with an orthodontist, so I mainly do braces.
Yeah.
And he's bought like a couple hoodies for his boys because they love.
Oh, that's awesome.
They love like outdoorsy stuff. So some have been supportive and have bought stuff off me too, or if they bought it for like friends or family of theirs that they know would love it. And yeah, they've been super supportive.
That's amazing. Because like I know sometimes like work is like, well, like, because if you're taking time off for shows and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm assuming for the Sportsman show you had to take off quite a few days to get ready for that. So
it's nice when you have days. What's nice is it lines up better next year, because the orthodontist I work with, he's taking that March break off to spend time with his kids. So I was like, perfect. I'm going to be off too.
Oh yeah, because it's always March break. Yeah, it is always
Yes,
March
it's
break.
always the same week as March break. So it lined up perfect. So he's taking it off, so I get it off. So I'm like, that lined up as best as it could for me.
That's awesome. Anyway, we're approaching our end of time mark. I want to thank you again so much for coming on, telling your story. You have an awesome product. And for those listening, we have a super awesome giveaway that Brittany has graciously donated. We're going to do a hoodie and a beanie. Yep. Right. Hoodie and a beanie. With whatever size. Whoever wins will message Brittany the size. She has sizes. You can take over 2T to youth large.
2T to youth large.
Yeah, so it'll be 2T to youth large. Anybody who enters or wins can message her the size, but it's going to be you have to like, follow, and share. I'll share it on the actual post itself. Brittany, again, thank you so much for taking the time out. I love sharing your business. It's an awesome business, and I can't wait to see where you guys are. I can't wait to see where you guys are going to grow from here, because I have nothing but good vibes of where this is going to go, because it's such a unique business. So, but anyway, guys, thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you again, Brittany.
Thanks.